So this video is a break that I made in practice probably a couple of years ago now, but I keep a lot of that footage because when I was improving I used to watch back at myself making breaks and my technique, and I would study my own technique and then try to improve each time and look at my own shot selection. So this is a break probably from a couple of years ago that I made in practice. So it's 141 total clearance. And what I'm going to do this time again is talk about some very important things that I think is useful for all players of all levels. Now, obviously, I understand these big breaks are advanced and it's not for the complete beginner. But I think even if you're just starting out in the game, there's still lots to take away from these videos in terms of the way players try and think ahead a little bit, the way we use rescue shots, I like to call them. So if you've got balls that are close to pockets, you sometimes use those as reserve balls, as rescue balls if you get in trouble during the break. And then I'm also in this video I'm going to talk about some key shots. So I'm normally find within a big break like that, there's 2 or 3 key shots that are going to connect the break together and then turn a 30 or a 40 into a 60 or a 70, and then turn that 70 or 80 into a total clearance. So there's lots of important things we're going to talk about in this video that everyone can hopefully gain some information from. So let's get into the video and I'll talk over some of the things and put some graphics on the screen so that we can analyse the break a little bit. Okay, so just before we start the video, we can see that we've got 6 reds that are already nicely out in open play. But these 2 reds here are the ones that I'd like to try and leave as reserve balls. So if you're playing position and you don't quite get onto the ball that you'd like to be on, you know that you've got this red over the middle and this one over the bottom right hand corner, which can almost rescue you in the break because you would hope to always have a shot at those reds. This first red here, I've got to try and just drop this in gently. This is the only red I can see. Not too hard because I want to try and stay on the black. Now when I pop this black, I'm going to move this red immediately here. So just this one that's to the side of the black, because it's just going to free up a bit more space for the black to go into this bottom corner pocket. Now here I'm just trying to leave angles on the black, so you can see that I've screwed there and left a nice angle. You never want to finish straight on the black. It's always good to try and leave these angles. Now I'm actually playing for the red next to the cue ball here. So I'd love to have been on that one, but I've got into the cue ball just a little bit too much there, so the white's drifted towards the side cushion. So straight away I am going to have to play this reserve ball here. So again, potting that one, making sure I try and leave an angle on the black, but I've actually finished a bit too straight here. So I'm playing for this red again, knowing that I've got backups. So I've played the screw shot there, a little bit of left hand side to help the white up the table. Just hit it slightly too hard, got into it a bit too much. So again, I'm going to have to take my reserve ball now, which is this one over the middle. So just below centre on the white, and then leaving a nice angle on the blue. Now, I could try and be precise here with position playing a loose red, but it's a good idea straight into the pink here. That pink lovely and full in the face. Just move some reds around, get the reds into open play. Now, there's a little bit of a problem here now in that these 2 reds have stopped the black from potting into either one of the corner pockets. So I'm going to be looking to try and get on one of those reds as soon as possible. So I've played for the pink there, and now I'm going to screw back and try and leave myself on one of these reds that are stopping the black from potting. So potted the pink there, and now I've got a shot on this red so that I can move this red away from this left hand corner. So I've really got to get into the white here, because the pink doesn't go into the right hand corner, and obviously the black doesn't pot in the right hand corner as well. So I've got to try and get into the white there, bottom and left hand side, just help the white across. So I'm nicely on the black, and now I can move the other awkward red. So straight away just playing a little stop shot with the white to move the other awkward red, because that's then going to open the black up into both pockets. So again, like I talked about at the beginning of this video, obviously this is quite an advanced video when you're talking about making big breaks like this, but some of the things that I'm thinking here are going to be useful for all players because it's this kind of mindset where you're just trying to have a bit of a plan, just think ahead slightly. Very important so that you can build bigger breaks if you start to think ahead a little bit. So now the reds are in not bad positions. These 3 reds here are the ones that I'm now looking at as being a potential problem because they don't easily pot. I can only possibly pot the one in the middle of those 3. So stunning the cue ball there up into an area where I felt that couldn't really fail for position. So I'm obviously on the red to the bottom left-hand corner, but I've also just landed on this one to the middle. So you'll see here just a few more feathers, just making sure that I've lined it up properly. Delicate little shot because the white was close to the red that I was playing. Now potting the black, bringing the white up into an area where I'm on choice of 2 reds here, so bringing the white up. I've got the red there that I've landed on. If the white comes a bit further, I've got the one just below the pink there as well. So a couple of reds to play for. So I'm just looking at those 3 reds again there, and I'm just making sure that the middle one of those 3 reds does pot. So again, potting that red, making sure I leave an angle on the black, because I want to be able to manoeuvre my white up into position. So now I'm playing for choice of 2 reds really. I'm playing for the red that's below the pink, and I'm also playing for the middle red of those 3 together, because if I could get on that one then, it was a great opportunity to move all the balls into open play, but didn't quite get on it as nice as I would have liked. But I can play a little stop shot here for the pink. And now I'm just looking exactly where I want to put the white so that I can be on that red. So again, just thinking ahead a little bit there. So now I'll just try and put the white into that position that I've just looked at. And then as long as the white's positioned nicely there, I should be able to pop this middle red of those 3, and that's then going to free up all 3 of these reds. So once this is potted, so you see there, that's potted, and now it's freed up those other 2 reds. Now here on this shot, I'm just deciding what's the best way to make sure and guarantee that I'm going to be on a red. So if I played it with top and left hand side, I could run the white round there and into that area, leaving the red in the middle or the one in the left corner. If I stunned it directly off the cushion, I could leave that red to the middle. So there's also that as an option. And then I actually, so it's good to have a little look here. I decided that if I just play up somewhere towards that pink, if I hit the pink, it's fine. If I go past it, doesn't matter. I've got the red to the middle, I've got the red to the corner. So just bringing the white up that line was a safe line to go up there. It didn't matter where the white landed. I would always leave myself in good position. So dropping that red in, and that's a little bit of a careless shot there. I've left myself slightly the wrong side of the blue. Haven't got much margin for error, but still would have liked to have been the correct side. So all I could do was play that little gentle screw shot. So I've got to leave this red over distance. Now, all I'm thinking to myself here now is hit the white ball cleanly, get a good strike on the white, and I play a little stun shot over onto the black. That's a key shot in the break there. Definitely very important now that I recovered there over that medium distance shot, and I've managed to get the white lovely on the black there. Just double checking whether I needed a touch of right hand side here, and I think I did, so I played a touch of right hand side just to make sure I went away from that red so I wasn't too close to it. And I've left myself in a nice position here now, so just stun down onto the black. And I'm just playing lots of topspin here, maybe a trace of left hand side just to help the white onto the side cushion and up for the black. Again, I would say in the break that's another key shot, because if you can then get onto your colours clearance, so lots of players, everybody tends to practice their colour clearances, so if you can get onto the colours like this, this is going to immediately add an extra 27 points to my break. So that black to yellow shot was very important there, leaving myself a nice shot on that yellow so that I could get nicely to the green. So now you would hope with all the practice that you can complete your colours clearance. So that's why we practice clearing the colours, because it's so important. So reasonably straight there on the blue, so I can just drop this in a little bit of an angle just to come down towards the pink. And again, all you're thinking on this pink, got to stretch slightly, but all you're thinking here, get nice contact on the white so that I hold the white in the middle of the table. And I did that nicely. And then we just pot in the black there. And again, that's the break completed there. Okay, so let's just recap this break then. So I'd say the first key shot was the one on the blue when I'm playing into the pack of reds. So I hit the pink right full in the face there, get the reds into open positions. So that's very important key shot in the break. So always that's a shot that I would isolate and try and practice, because if you can get the white to hit that pink full in the face, you get the reds to move around much more than if you catch the pink one side or the other. So very important to get that nice clean contact on the pink there. So the second key shot I would say was this pink here to red. So this is important because I could have played on any red there, but I'm choosing immediately to play onto this red that's stopping the black going into the left corner. And as soon as I get on this red here to the left corner, it means that I can then move this red out the way, and as we saw, get position on the black. So you can see I can move this red out the way, bit of bottom and left hand side, and that gets the black into open play now, and I can play on the other red that's also covering the black. So again, that was the second key decision during that break, was to immediately, after I'd gone into the pack, I was looking at the fact that, okay, the reds have split nicely, they do look like they're in good positions, but actually I've created a bit of a problem in terms of covering the black going into those corner pockets. So that was another key decision early on in the break there, that I made sure that I'd looked at that problem and I wanted to try and move those reds away from the black so that the black was available into both corners. Right, so the third key decision in this break here was playing this red here and playing on the pink, not the black, because I wanted to make sure I could get position on this middle red that you can see me looking at there. So again, another key decision there. By moving that middle red of those three, that brought everything out into open play, and then that made it a very good chance there to finish the break off and clear the table. So that was the third big decision there, making sure that I played from that previous red onto the pink so that I could get the white in a perfect position to play that middle red of the three and then free up the other two reds after I pop that one. And the final fourth key shot I would say in this break was the black to yellow here. So very, very important. If I can get good on the yellow, makes it much more likely that I'm going to carry on and finish the colours clearance. So I've got past the blue line there. I'm a little bit further away from the yellow, you can see there, than I would like. But by playing that black in a way that came off that side cushion, it went towards the yellow, it made it much more likely that I would pop the yellow, and then that makes it very likely that you can complete your colours clearance. As I say, we put lots of effort into practicing these colour clearances, and they can make the difference between much bigger breaks by adding those extra 27 points onto the end of breaks. So even when you're first starting to improve and you're on 40 or 50 points, if you can then add that extra 27 points onto the end of your 50 break, you've got 77 break there that's turned from a 50 to a 77. So very, very important that you try and get good on that yellow. That was another key part of the break. So, as always, I hope everybody found this video useful. There's some key things there about rescue shots there, using those recovery balls, and the key shots that crop up in a break so that you can continue and link different sections of the break together. Obviously, we're going through some challenging times at the moment. At the time of filming this video, we're all suffering with the coronavirus outbreak, so lots of us can't get to the club and play as we normally would. But during normal times, I'm available for one-to-one coaching sessions. That's what I do all the time, working with players one-to-one on the table. So all my details for that are in the description below for anybody that's interested in the future, or maybe you're actually watching this video in the future. So if you're interested in any personal one-to-one coaching, then please get in touch. If you did enjoy this video, please give the video a like. Also subscribe to the channel. That just really helps me to keep this content coming. And as always, thanks for watching. Cheers.